created job opportunities for them. By so doing, we have given them an ample opportunity to do away with deviances in the community.
As National Assembly and Committee on House of Representatives, I've always tell you we are within 100%. In anything you want us to do, we are going to do it for you.
The roads can be beautiful, the bridges can be in place, but people need to drive on them, and that is what you have done today.
FCT Minister Eson Wiki discloses that from January next year, all taxi drivers will be profiled by the security agencies, just as vehicles will be in FCT colors to enhance security.
Most of the Kejada, most of the motorcycles are informants. Everybody here that the beneficiary is being profiled by security. And so what are coming up from January next year, there will be nobody that will operate as a taxi driver or a bus driver without having the approval from security, without security profiling you, and without going on with Abuja color. So nothing like using any vehicle on the road. No, we won't allow that.
Vehicles provided will be used as a pilot in Guzapi, Maitama, and Asokoro districts, Abuja. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Earlier on, we told you about a 2-day training on improving performance at workplace through ethical leadership and emotional intelligence for top management of staff of NTA. Here's the closing of the seminar by Joseph Otson.
To be a positive person.
It is an already planned training by management of the Nigerian Television Authority, but the recent assault on an online taxi driver by a member of the House of Representatives validate its importance even more. Participants here comprises assistant directors to the level of executive directors.
They are trained in the art and science of leadership wherever they are working, so that we can encourage efficiency.
We started
Leadership consultant Colonel Joseph Ajanaku, retired, attributes colonial mentality of bosses being superior beings and followers inferior to the arrogant and other poor attitudes exhibited by many leaders.
Why don't we begin by emotional intelligence training in every leadership position? We can even get to the level of getting emotional intelligence tests to have a good picture of the kind of leaders we are.
No matter the position, either in the house, at work, anywhere, we all just need it. We all saw what happened to our dear honorable of recent. So if you have it, then you can think straight.
If you're a leader and you are not connected to the people you're leading, you are not a true leader. So you should have that empathy.
A kind of watchword is to carry everybody along.
Director General, Nigerian Television Authority, Salihu Abdul Hamid Dembos, is appreciative, describing the exercise as much needed.
I want to say a very big thank you and congratulate you and appreciate for all the congratulations.
The understanding here is that application of emotional intelligence breeds healthier working environments. In Abuja, Joseph Otsen, NTA News.
The federal government, in its commitment to promote volunteerism and harness the nation's resources for national development, approved the national policy on inclusive volunteerism on 9th of December 2020 as a policy framework for management and coordination of volunteerism in Nigeria. It was subsequently identified that for effective implementation, there is a need to develop a blueprint and coordinate database of volunteer activities of relevant stakeholders and states. Kama reports.
The production of the blueprint of national policy on inclusive volunteerism consists of a clear explanation of concepts, framework, definition, principle, and action plan activities for implementation. Here comes the public launching of the Nigerian National Volunteer Service blueprint in Abuja by the representatives of the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Emmanuel Aguchi, who launched the blueprint, saying that government will not relent in collaboration to ensure the implementation of the blueprint.
The government of Nigeria officially declared the volunteer registration portal and blueprint documents of the national policy on inclusive volunteerism open to the glory of the Almighty God.
The Nigerian National Volunteer Service demonstrates the mandate and remarkable achievement on 9-point goals focused in the blueprint, which is aimed to strengthen the existing institutional framework for volunteers and stakeholders management.
Be in a regular contact with the project leaders, host organizations, and communities. Allow the volunteer manager or project coordinator in problematic or emergency cases.
I think the key element is that the unique identity has to continue to be named. The national identification number has to be that identifier that identifies every other person. But then when you have platforms like Frontier Data Bank, it then extends that to using the NIN to really show some of the activities that you're doing across board. So really congratulations to Nigeria itself, especially with the NIN deployment. You can see that we have over 100 million.
We thank God for this wonderful opportunity, having a database. It will go a long way to harness what people are doing,
to provide guidance and direction for effective management and coordination towards socio-economic development of the nation. They solicit strong commitment of relevant stakeholders and institutions that are required to successfully implement the blueprint across states of the Federation. Kama, NTA News.
The Federal Capital Territory is taking significant steps to transform Abuja into a world-class city. As part of this effort, the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, has launched a campaign to rid the capital city of beggars. This initiative aims to improve the city's image and provide a safer environment for residents and visitors. Hawegimba reports that about 15 beggars have been apprehended so far.
The raid, led by the FCT Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, resulting to the arrest of 15 beggars and 19 scavengers around the city center. The operation, including the police, military, Department of State Services, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, and various paramilitary agencies, consists of 4 teams. FCT Commissioner of Police Olatunji Disu described the initiative as a national assignment, emphasizing the need for professionalism among the enforcement teams while strictly upholding the minister's directives.
We have homes for the beggars. We have agencies who take care of them where they're taking them to, and the government will be providing, feeding them. Where a lot of plans have been put in place to ensure they are trained.
Director, FCTA Security Services, Department Adamu Gwari, represented by the Secretary of the Center, explained that efforts will be carried out both day and night.
Honorable Minister FCT gave them 1 week ultimatum to leave the city or face being arrested. And as we commenced the operation, we realized that most of them are actually hacking to the voice of the minister.
Director of Social Welfare at the FCT Social Welfare Secretariat, Dr. Rabe Sani, explained the next steps for those arrested.
Specifically, on my side, is the issue of beggars, destitute, and mentally challenged.
Every stakeholder is involved. And from our own part, we are to ensure that all the miscreants constituting various forms of environmental nuisances are apprehended.
Head of Enforcement at the Abuja Environmental Protection Board, Kaka Bello, reiterated that the initiative extends beyond targeting beggars, noting that the goal is also to restore order and cleanliness throughout the city. Hawagimba, NTA News.
Over now to business news.
Many thanks indeed. Nigeria and Vietnam forge economic ties
just as Nigeria's internet consumption drops, says Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC), and 32 states benefits from FAC. This is Business News. I am Serafina Okon Omekwe. Begin with happenings in the manufacturing world. Pharmaceutical manufacturers are hit with losses of up to 8% due to the federal government's delay in implementation of its zero value-added tax policy designed to ease the cost of pharmaceutical raw materials imports, and the Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Group of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. The Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Group of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria estimates that they lose up to 8% of their revenues are supposed to be getting intended relief, according to the PMG-MAN chairperson. Nigeria's internet consumption declined in September 2024, marking the first drop since February 2024. This was according to the latest industry statistics report by the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC). Data usage fell to 853,954.05 terabytes recorded in August. This drop coincided with a decrease in subscribers base in the country in the month of September. Nigeria and Vietnam are strengthening their bilateral relations through strategic collaboration aimed at enhancing trade and economic development. This partnership is poised to unlock new business opportunities, drive creative jobs in both countries. Business correspondent Alika Kwanachi Arwa reports that Nigeria and Vietnam are keen to explore several key areas to enhance the ease of doing business between both countries.
Nigeria and Vietnam were described as complementary economies that both countries can take advantage of.
Nigeria and Vietnam share a lot of similarities in terms of the agricultural production. So I think we need to have more interaction, more exchanges between the business communities.
They also observed that working together to address challenges such as cultural and language barriers, regulatory differences, infrastructural gaps, and leveraging opportunities.
With the economic ties from Vietnam, that concludes Business News. Stay for the continuation of the news. I am Serafina Okon Omekwe.
And that concludes the news at 1. Thank you for being a part of it. Good afternoon.